My project really surrounds on trying to find ways to increase sugar production within sorghum. Right now, sorghum is really resilient to a lot of environmental conditions like drought and heat, which is really good. So if we can get it up to optimal levels, that would be amazing. One way we have done that is through creating cytoplasmic male sterols, and so all that means is that when a sorghum is grown and it flowers, the pollen that it produces, it's not viable. And if you put a bag over that head, it's not going to make any seed. We have found that in some lines, the ones that have a bag over so they didn't make seed, they will make more sugar than their counterpart that did make seed. We wanted to expand on that a little bit more. In previous literature, we see that in some other plant species that when you double their chromosome content, they actually get bigger cells. We were hoping that if we did that in sorghum, we would see more sugar, because by having a bigger cell, we're hoping that acts as a bigger storage for more sugar. I didn't name Bundle King, but when I first got here to Illinois, it was one of the lines that stood out to me. It has a pretty thick stem, it grows really tall, as you can see, and when we've juiced it in the past, it's always been pretty juicy, so it's always been my favorite, and so I just shorten it to King, because in my mind it's been the king of sorghum. And so it was really exciting that when I was screening through all my plants trying to find a tetraploid, that it was Bundle King that was found to be a tetraploid, because I think it's a really exciting line to explore. And so if we harvested our tetraploid sorghum, which is a unique variety, to our knowledge, no one else in the world has another tetraploid sorghum. We harvested bundles from each variety, so the tetraploid and the diploid. We then take those bundles and we weigh them prior to being juiced, because we want to know exactly how much this plant weighs, how much of that was juice. So we put it through the juicer, and in one end out comes the bagasse, so just the squished biomass of the sorghum, and then on another end out comes the juice that is collected. We take the bagasse and we later weigh that sample again, and then with the juice sample we take a few measurements. So first we want to measure juice volume, so how much sugar came out of that bundle, and then we want to look at how sugary is it. We use what's called a brixometer. Select shines through a sample that we pipette in, and through reflection and absorption rates and calculations, but then it can give us a number that represents sugar concentration. From the seed we harvested, we'll plant again next year, and we will take pollen from those lines and we will use it to pollinate a different genotype. So right now we're working in Bundle King, but we want a cross, we want a hybrid. So we will take pollen from our tetraploid Bundle King and we'll hopefully cross it onto another tetraploid line that we are also working on generating. By having that cross, you produce hybrid seed, and then that seed we expect to really have increased juicing potential. This was one of the projects that really drew me to Illinois. My first year here, my whole goal was just to get one tetraploid plant. A lot of plant breeding and genetics is a lot of patience. And so when we finally found one, and then I had enough seed to grow it out in the fields, like, it was really satisfying. I'm really excited to see this project through, and kind of having this unique germplasm too. I'm really excited to keep it going. My project falls within the feedstock group of CABBI. Our goal is to find ways that we can improve plants for the feedstock team to then convert, to really show and gather data saying, yeah, we have now made this new line of sorghum that makes more sugar. And once we can prove and establish that we have that, then it can go down the pipeline. So we're hoping that we can prove that our tetraploid sorghum makes sorghum worthwhile growing and that people want to grow it for biofuel use.